The tail plane, take up slack.
Taking up slack, how do you read?
5 by 5. Five feet. Slack out. Pilot ready for takeoff. Let's go to 3,000 over the ground. Over.
Okay. Muscatine traffic, Piper 7847 Hotel is taking off runway 6 at Muscatine, deploying a glider. Count it over.
Bumpier now than it will be for most of the flight because we're going a lot faster than we normally would.
Yeah.
We're doing 55 knots. It's about 60, 65 miles an hour, which is the tow speed.
How do they decide when to like let you go?
I do it based on altitude. I told them to go to 3,000 feet, so we'll just be watching the altimeter. When it gets to 3,500, that's 300 or 3,000 feet AGL, and we'll release then. Most days we only go up to about 2,500 MSL, but I'm not confident we'll find a lot of thermals, and the extra 1,000 feet gives us more time to find some if there are any up here. As you can see, there's a lot of water on the ground here.
Yeah.
That keeps the ground cool, which makes it hard to kick off thermals. What you really want is like a nice plowed brown field like that, but dry.
Yeah.
And it'll accumulate heat when the sun comes up, and it'll pop a little thermal off of there usually.
So I'm guessing it's been hard a lot lately?
Yeah. I had 3.5 hours last week, but that was just because there was so much energy in the air. I was able to overcome it. Look down at the threshold of the runway on the left. There's an airplane right where we took off. Looks tiny.
Yeah, it does.
at 2,500, we've got another 1,000 feet to climb.
So do you look at the little one?
The little hand is the 1,000 feet. The skinny long hand is hundreds.
Okay.
So between 200 and 300 feet, or 2 and 3 on the dial for the short fat one, is the 2,000 to 3,000 foot band. And we're going to be going till the big one points past 3 and the small one's at 5, or the skinny one is at 5. And then what'll happen is I'll have you pull that yellow release twice, and then I'll pull up and to the right, and he'll dive off to the left. Keep an eye on the tow plane. He sometimes does some like pretty spectacular aerobatics going down. He likes to do real steep turns.
So is he part of a club or just someone that you guys?
He's like an associate member basically. He doesn't fly gliders, he just tows.
So why do you have to pull it twice?
In case you didn't get it all the way released the second time, because or the first time, because he'll hear it and he'll start turning away.
Okay.
And so if you didn't actually release, or it didn't fall clear and reattach,
We're gonna go like shooting off.
he'll go down and we won't. And we'll break stuff. Break the rope. So the river in front of us is the Mississippi. So across that's Illinois.
Oh.
And then the town off to our left is Muscatine.
I didn't realize Muscatine was that close to the edge of the state.
Yep. As close as we can get. Within 100 feet, go ahead and grab the yellow handle.
Like pull it?
Not yet, a lot. I think he's trying to get us closer to the river. Alright, pull, pull, pull. So again, Muscatine on the left, river straight ahead. You hear the sound of silence there. That means we're not really climbing anymore. But that's the sound of sync. It's sadder than the sound of climbing.
Reminds me of BB-8.
Yeah. So now you can open the window all the way if you want, or just stick your fingers out. But it really increases the pressure.
Have you ever been skydiving?
Nope. At some point I will, because I want to get a parachute so I can do aerobatics in my glider.
Ooh.
But I don't want to like never have done it if an emergency happens.
Yeah.
Have you been skydiving?
I have not. I figure one day I will.
Yep.
Muscatine traffic, 7847 hotels, left downwind, runway 6 Muscatine.
actually climbing now, which means we're still almost at the altitude we released. Obviously with a glider, the glider itself is always sinking, but sometimes the air around it is going up faster than we're going down.
So, I take it all of this is not supposed to be wet?
There are lakes here, but fewer than what you see right now.
Okay. Like, yeah, there's certain points where it's like crossing the road.
Yeah. So you still feeling good or feeling queasy at all?
No, I'm good.
Some people get a little queasy on their first flights or first couple of flights.
I felt the queasiness right when we let go.
Oh yeah? Because I climbed so fast probably. And then pushed over. So it...
Muscatine traffic, Piper 7847 Hotel, left base turning final, runway 6 Muscatine.
Yeah, so I pulled way back to get some altitude. Because basically we had, 20 more knots than we needed. So I was basically converting that kinetic energy into potential energy. It makes separation, but also makes the flight just a little, a minute longer. But then I had to push over pretty quick to keep it from losing all my airspeed. So you can do that normally too. You just pick up some speed, dive, and then climb and push over the top, and you get a little, a few seconds of 0G basically. Flying over to where these warehouses are in front of us, because normally you'll get lift off of those as well. The roofs will heat up and it'll be enough to trigger a thermal if there's enough energy in the air. So basically I'm going to turn when we're still upwind of them and fly over them downwind and hope to pick up the thermal, because the thermal drifts with the wind. See there, we're in a thermal there. It's actually a pretty good thermal, so we're going to circle. This is about a 25-30 degree bank. Thermals are usually pretty localized, so you have to turn to stay in them. So
how do you know like how much you're banking?
Just by basically what I do, all the instruments have 4 screws. When those screws are level with the horizon, that's 45 degrees. We don't have an artificial horizon, so we don't have like a bank indicator or anything like that. It's a real tight one. I'm actually going to increase the level of bank to keep our circle tighter. It makes us less efficient, but it keeps us closer to the center of the thermal. And so we're not spending as much time outside of the thermal losing altitude.
Okay, traffic for your public potential, 5 miles southwest inbound, 417 Marion.
So now we're off the ground. We're going to get radio signals from Marion and Washington, because they both share our frequency. Ooh, that's real sick. Can't tell if I'm upwind of it or downwind of it. Let's try downwind, see what happens. Like Tom said, if you start to feel queasy, let me know. Because we can fly straight for a while and sometimes I'll take care of it, or we can just go land. So all that stuff in front of us, those fields and stuff between us and the power plant, there's not supposed to be any water there.
Oh, wow.
On days like today where there's no clouds, you can look for like circling hawks or buzzards or something like that. They're usually a good indication that you're in lift.
Yeah, what happens if you hit one?
I never have.
Looks good.
It's a relatively low speed impact though, so it wouldn't be as bad as like a Cessna or even a jet hitting it.
Yeah.
I did almost cream an eagle last week though.
Oh,
I did not see him, and he didn't see me. And suddenly there he was, and he dove away, and it was good. But it's one of those things I wish I'd been filming, because
Yeah.
I swear it was like between me and the wingtip.
Wow.
You can open, yeah, I was gonna say, you can open your window
Like,
more. So
does
that,
it go more?
what?
I didn't know if it came back any further.
Yep, it comes back further, and that way you don't have to stick your arm quite so far out. There should be a knob on the dash right in front of you. It should be black. Make sure that's pulled all the way back.
Like towards me?
Yep. Alright, yeah, you're good. So you should be getting some air like along the top of the canopy maybe? I don't know. I didn't really feel it, but...
So, have you ever been to the... the Marion Airport?
Yeah, I flew into there last week actually. Ken flies there when he comes in tows. He flies out of Marion. So since my brother was in town, I had him drive the car back, and I flew back with Ken.
Yeah.
That runway looks tiny from the air. I couldn't believe it.
So, is that privately owned?
Yeah.
Because somebody was telling me, one of the guys that I used to work with, who was like out in the factory area more, he like married into the family that owns it.
Oh, really?
And so people are like, yeah, he probably doesn't even need to be working.
Yeah. I don't know how much you make on an airport, but it's usually pretty good.
Yeah.
We're just not getting a lot of lift, to be honest.
Pretty short final, runway 17 Mary.
One of the privately owned gliders, or a couple of them, are self-launch gliders. So they have like a foldable engine that goes back down into the fuselage. So that was him calling and he's headed out to the runway.
Oh, that's like that one down there?
Yep. It's like Don Grass showed up too. He also has a self-launch glider. There we go. Who?
The guy in the glider.
He took off the other way.
Oh.
So the birds right below us there? I don't know what they're in. So the gliders, well, really all airplanes, are kind of hard to see from the ground. Because they're slender and light colored, but he's to your right, just crossing through the horizon right now.
Oh, okay.
We're a little over 700 feet above the ground. My personal limit is I won't circle below 600. So if we fall below that, we'll just kill some altitude and set up for a pattern. You can circle maybe a little lower because even in a stall, you're only going to lose about 300 feet, like in a worst case scenario, before you're recovered. But I prefer to have a little bit more of a safety margin.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel it a little.
A little quoozy?
Yeah.
Alright. We will level it off then.
Oh, there's a lot of motorcycles.
Yep. Muscatine traffic, glider 4 Kilo Romeo, left downwind, runway 6, Muscatine. Muscatine traffic, 4 Kilo Romeo, base, runway 6, Muscatine. traffic. Glider 4 Kilo Romeo, final, runway 6, Muscatine. Alright, open the spoilers. Lose some altitude. When I come into approach, I actually fly a little bit faster, closer to 55. Again, because there can be wind shear close to the ground, which could cause me to suddenly, you know, gain or lose some speed.
Nearly as bad as it is sometimes in a regular airplane.
With the wind speed like this, it's easy to land nice.